Welcome back. Next module, set theory. It is an important concept in mathematics, and we are dealing the set theory concept in business situations also. So before we go into the business application of set theory, we need to understand the concept and meaning of set and how it can be used in business. So first of all, we need to understand the concept of set. A set is a well-defined collection or a class of distant objects. That is, there exists a rule with the help of which we will be able to say whether a particular object belongs to the set or which does not belong to the set. For example, positive integers form a set which is well defined because for a given number it is possible to say whether it is belonging to set of positive integers. For the time being, we are using an example. Let A be a letter that represents a set. Here I assume that letter A means all those even numbers, positive even numbers. So it can be written as whatever the name which is we are going to give to that particular set equal, we will be using a curly brackets, otherwise known as parenthesis, and see, I assume that letter A represents all the positive even numbers, so 2, 4, 6, and it will be going on. So this is how we are representing a set. So set means anything that can be grouped in which the particulars that comes under the same group have similar qualities or characteristics. For example, we all know the term vowels. We know what is meant by vowels. Vowels is a name given to a set of letters A, E, I, O, U. We know that. So set means we are giving a name or categorization to a group of items having similar qualities. We used to say a set of car, a set of bus, a set of KSRTC bus. That's an example. Set of KSRTC bus. KSRTC bus, there are a number of KSRTC bus. So we call that a group as a set. So set is a concept that is used to represent a different number of items having similar qualities or identical items. That is known as set. In maths, we will be representing a set by giving any letter or a term. Usually we will be giving letters. We can give names. So here I assumed that letter A represents a set of even numbers. So it can be written as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 likewise. So this is how we are representing a set. Remember, it is a pattern of writing a set. Set usually represented by a letter, equal sign, and 2 curly brackets. This is an example of a set. So let us discuss different types of or different terms which we have to use during the theoretical part of the set theory. Next one, null set. Null means empty, nothing. That is the meaning of null. So null set means what is the meaning? Null means empty. So null set means empty sets, nothing. So a set which contains no element is called a null set, and it is denoted by the sign or slash. Sometimes it can be written as 0 slash. This represents null set. We can also represent a null set by using only 2 curly brackets. Remember, previously I mentioned that usually a set is represented by letter followed by equal sign, after that curly brackets. Within the curly brackets we need to include the whatever the numbers or alphabets which you are dealing. If there is no numbers or alphabets or anything within these curly brackets, it means nothing. So null set can be represented by 2 curly brackets alone or a sign like this. So this is an example of null set. Null set does not symbolize empty set. Remember, it represents a set that contains an empty set as an element. Earlier mentioned that null set can be represented by this sign or this brackets alone. But if you are facing a question where two brackets, within these two brackets this sign is given, that means it is not a null set, it means empty set. Empty or null doesn't mean like that. It represents a set that contains an empty set. That is the meaning. I hope you are getting the point. Earlier I mentioned that if you are using this sign or brackets alone, it means null set. But sometimes during the problem you will get a clear picture. Sometimes you need to represent a set within which there is nothing. A set within which there is nothing. In that case you need to represent like this. During the problem area you will get the clear picture. If you see the sign like this, anything sign within two curly brackets, it doesn't mean that null set. It means empty set within another element. That is the concept. We will discuss that part in detail during the computation part. Next one, subset of a set. Subset of a set means, actually it means a sub of a main set. That is a part of the main set. That is the meaning of subset. If every element of set A is also an element of set B, then A is called a subset of B. Here for the time being we are using two letters A and B. For understanding purpose only we are using alphabets. It is not the exact definition. If every element of a set A is also an element of set B, then A is called the subset of B. So it can be represented as A subset of B. That means B is the primary or bigger set, A is the sub or smaller set. With example you will get the answer. One of the subset of B. See how A becomes the subset of B. See here two sets are given. B equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. A equal to 2, 5, 7. So you can see that this one is bigger, this one is smaller. Usually the bigger one is the main set, this is a smaller set. Smaller is the subset of bigger set. That is the concept. And how not all the smaller sets are subset of the bigger set. Only under this condition a smaller set will be the subset of the bigger set. And the condition is, see, you can see that B includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, this much numbers. Whereas A includes 2, 5, 7. But if you look closely you can see that 2 is there in B, 5 is there in B, 7 is there in B. Apart from that it have in addition 1 and 3. So we can say that A is the subset of B. So the concept is any elements within a set is also there in another set. Another set means another bigger set. Then you can say that the smaller set is a subset of the larger set. That is known as subset of a set. And it is represented by A subset of B. You can see that C elongated C, under the C there is an underline. That means A is the subset of B. That is the meaning. I hope you are getting the concept. Next one, disjoint of a set. As the name suggests, disjoint means separate. Two sets, for time being we are using A and B, are said to be disjoint sets if no element of A is there in B and no element of B is there in A. That is known as subset disjoint of a set. For example, A includes 1, 2, 3. B includes 5, 7, 9. If you look closely you can see that none of the numbers are equal or similar. So it means A is a separate set, B is another set. So that means A and B are disjoint. Disjoint means different, likewise. We used to say different or difference likewise. So this is known as disjoint sets. Disjoint means they are not similar. Next one, union of two sets. Remember, whenever I say union means the elements of one set and elements of other set are combined together. It is known as union. When we form together, we used to call union. Union of students, union of members, likewise. So, and the sign used is U. A, it is represented by, this sign is represented by the term union B. That is, all elements of A and all elements of B are combined together. That is the meaning of union of two sets. Union of two sets A and B is a set of all those elements which belong to A or B or to both. With the example, you will get the clear picture. If A is 2, 3, 4, 5. B is 3, 5, 7, 8. So if you are asked to write that A is the union of A and B, or A is the union of B, so A is the union of B, it can be represented like this: A, U, B equal, we include all the numbers of A and all the elements of B together. See, 2, 2, 3. Here there are 2, 3. Don't worry, you need to take only one number, means any one number, 3. So 2, 3. Next is 4. Next is 5. There is nothing in this one. After 5, 7, 8. So you can see that union of two sets means you are bringing together all the numbers of one set and another set together. And you need not have to repeat similar numbers. Here 3 is there in both sides. It doesn't mean that you have to write 3 two times. No need. You need to represent it by one number. This is known as union of two sets. Remember, try to understand the terms and meaning, because you will be dealing with questions where terms are used. Union of a set is usually in a problem that terms are used. Or disjoint of a set, prove that this one is disjoint, likewise. So you need to familiarize the terms as well as the concept. Next one, intersection of two sets. Intersection means connection, likewise. And the sign used is, if the A and B are two sets we are using, the intersection sign is inverted U. See, in case of union we use A, U, B. And in case of intersection A, the opposite sign of union B. So intersection of two sets A and B is a set of all those elements which belong to both A and B. So A intersection B contains elements common to A and B. For example, here A is a set 1, 2, 3. B is another set 1, 3, 5. You are asked to write intersection, that is A intersection B. In that case, you need to write only those numbers that are common in both sets. See, 1 is there in both sets, so we return 1. 2 is only there in A, not in B, so 2 is neglected. 3 is there in both sets, so 3 is taken. After that, if you go to B, in case B, only 5 is there only in B, not in A. So intersection means whenever you are asked to find the intersection between two sets, you need to identify the numbers or letters that are common in both sets. That is known as intersection of the set. And try to remember the sign A inverted U, B. Next one, complement of a set. Before we go into complement of a set, remember, in an assumption that usually sets is represented by a circle, and usually this circle will be within a rectangle. We will discuss that part in the next session. For the time being, just understand. So the set, before we go into set theory concept, remember there is a bigger concept in set theory that is represented by the term universe. Universe means whatever you are studying, all the items in that particular subject is known as union. For example, alphabets. How many alphabets are there? 26. So universe means 26 letters. If you are studying about alphabets, what is a union means? Union includes all 26 letters. So for example, if you are assuming all the natural numbers, so universe means all the numbers, natural number, that is one from 1 2 3 to all unlimited numbers. So that is the concept of universe. And why we are explaining the universe concept is that complement of a set means if you are studying anything, studying means if you are studying about a particular set, let it be set relating to any positive numbers, positive integers, or if you are studying about positive integer numbers. And complement of a set means whatever you are studying that will not comes in a particular universe. For example, we are studying positive integers, but we are taking into consideration the universe of a negative integers number. Will the positive numbers come into that universe? Never. So whatever set you are studying under study that do not comes in a particular universe is known as complement of a set. I hope you will have got a vague idea. We will discuss in detail regarding that part during the future session. For the time being, complement of a set is of a set. For the time being, we are using A is the set of all those elements belonging to the universe set but do not belong to A. That is known as complement of a set, and it can be represented by the sign A raised to C, or otherwise known as A dash, and it is otherwise represented as U minus A. U minus A means U means whatever a subject which you are learning in detail, that entire aspect is known as universe. A is that which is not there in universe. It is known as U minus A, which can be represented by A raised to C or A raised to dash. This is known as complement of a set. Don't worry about this complement of a set concept. We will discuss in detail regarding this area in the future session. We are going to discuss this particular terms and concept for a numerous cases, so don't worry about it. And finally, difference of a two sets. Difference of a two sets, for the time being we are using A and B. It means the difference of a two set A and B is a set of all those elements which belongs to A but do not belongs to B. For example, A is a set that consisting of 1 2 3 4 5. B is another set consisting 2 4 5 6 7. You are asked to find the difference between these two sets. So it means A minus B. That is the sign used for representing difference between two sets. Here we are using A and B. If it is T and U, it will be T minus U. If it is F and H, it will be F minus H likewise. So A minus B. The meaning of A minus B means all those numbers that are only in A is taken, but it does not include all those numbers which are also in B. For example, A minus B, here we need to take only those numbers that only belongs to A. First one, 1. Is the 1 there in B? No. So 1 can be taken. Take only those numbers that are there in A. Next one, 2. Can 2 be taken? No, because 2 is also there in B. So we can't take that. Next one, 3. Is 3 is there in B? No. So we can take 3. So 1 and 3. After that 4. See, 4 is also there in B. 5 is also there in B. And you may think that 6 is there in B, it is not in A. You can be take. No. Because here you are asked to find the difference between A and B. A and B means A minus B. So when A minus B is taken, consider only those numbers that are exclusively there in A and not there in B. And 6 and 7 is taken when B minus A is asked. B minus A means all those numbers that are exclusively there in B, not in A. So we can see B, first number is 2, it is already there in A. 4, it is also there in A. 5, it is also there in A. The only numbers that are only there in B is 6 and 7. So this is how you have to represent the difference of two sets. We will discuss about the further cases in the next session. Just go through all these concepts, try to understand these terms and signs and symbols which we have used. If you have any queries, please let me know, and in the future sessions we will be dealing with very problem areas that using these terms during the computation. So you need to familiarize the meaning of each terms and what are the concepts regarding each terms. If you have any queries, please let me know.